and welcome to Mama Swamp Kids Farms Homestead. Today I'm going to show you how I make goat milk soap with homemade, or with our milk from our goats. I have coconut oil, olive oil, lye, lard, already all pre-measured out, gloves for safety. So first, I'm going to start by, I heated up the lard so it's liquid already. I'm going to add in, which this is 368 grams of lard. This is 425 grams of olive oil. Then I have coconut oil, 340 grams. And I add that all into the bowl here. Give it a little whisk to get it incorporated. Then I place in the microwave to heat to approximately 110 to 125 degrees. Using a digital thermometer, I will check the temperature. In the meanwhile, I'm going to you put the frozen goat milk cubes in a bowl of ice water, and I'm going to add the lye. You gotta be very careful with lye, it can burn you. That's why I use gloves. And then mix until it is melted. You want to keep it cold so that way it does not scorch the goat milk. The sugars in the goat milk will burn. Give it a couple little stirs, let it set a second. I'll check the temperature of the oil. Another couple rounds to heat that. And while that's heating, I'll continue mixing this. I use a digital scale to measure out the ingredients, that way you get the exact amount that you need. I will put a comment in the comment sections that show the amounts that I use for each of the oils and the milk and everything else. The milk is also, the goat milk, the goat milk oil, excuse me, is 368 grams also of frozen cubes. Give this a little stir. Check its temperature. Almost there, probably one more round. 30 seconds each, so you don't want to get it too hot. Give this a mix again. Please excuse me, this is my first time ever doing a video for making this soap. I'm not used to talking to myself. If you've made goat milk soap before and you have a different way of doing it, I'd like to hear about it. Go ahead and leave a comment. This time I'm going to be making this a harvest spice fragrant smell due to the fact that fall is coming up and it takes 30 days for this to cure. Check the temperature and we are good. Running about 122, 123. That's where I like to have it at. While that's doing its thing, I'm going to continue mixing this to dissolve every bit of the lye into the milk. And the cubes are almost, you can see in there, almost completely melted into the lye. Give it a good mix. And now I like to use a whisk when I first start and get these incorporated again. And while that is finishing up, I have misplaced my head for my mixer, my stick blender. Seriously? Pause for a moment while I find it. Well, that was pretty silly. It was here on the table the whole time. Okay, so now that I've had a blooper from my first video, the goat milk is completely melted into the lye and dissolved. So now I will take this and I will pour it slowly into the oil mixture, trying not to splash because, like I said, lye can burn you. People have different ways of doing this. This is what I found works for me. I'm sure you will find something that works for you if you try it. Get all the last little goodies out of here. Alright, now I like to give it just a little stir, and here comes the stick blender job. This incorporates it super fast, super easy, saves your arm. I do this for probably about 3 minutes to incorporate very well. Here's where I'm going to add in my fragrance, and then I will continue to mix. This is 2 10 milliliters of Harvest Spice. That's the scent I chose to do because fall is around the corner. And then we'll give it a mix again. Some people like to bring it to a trace. I find that that's not usually my thing because I like to pour it into the molds. It makes it a lot easier when it's a liquid instead of becoming very thick. Whenever it actually starts heating up, it will get quite thick to where it will be harder to pour. All the goat milk comes from our goat that we have here on the farm. She's our first goat, and her name is Nala. I have an Etsy website that you can find it at. Some other bars that I've already made and put on Etsy. The Etsy is Mama Swamp Kids Farms Homestead. And you can place an order. It's buy 6 bars and you get free shipping. So once we have this well incorporated, which you want to make sure it's good so that way the oils do not separate, we're going to move this. And I chose to use bars, so I'm going to get those over here. So what I do is I get them lined up, and then just gently pour each bar, trying not to make too much of a mess that I have to clean up. Dun, 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 dun. Sing a little tune while I pour my bars. Sometimes you can add a mica to it to add some color, which I may do here with the last little bits of the soap, just to add a little fall color to it. I chose the terracotta color. As you see on the side here that I'm getting close to, I actually made some other soaps earlier. Those are original scent with coffee grounds. Gives a nice little exfoliating along with it. Okay, so I'm going to scrape the bowl. And with the remainder, I'm going to sprinkle a little of this terracotta color in. Doesn't take too terribly much. I'm new to adding the colors, so I'll just give this a little mix. Adds a pretty little color to it. I'm going to just add a little swirl to each bar. Just to give it a little something. And then I'll run a knife through it to swirl it in a little better. Found it doesn't take much of the color, otherwise you'll change the entire bar into a different color. It doesn't look so pretty. Just continue to keep adding, a little bit of color to each one. Also helps to distinguish the color or the type of soap that you're using whenever it comes time. You open it up and you're like, oh, I don't remember which one I got out. Looks like my last two won't have any color. Oh darn. Okay, then I will use a knife to just give it a little swirl. Just give it your own little design, however you feel. Do, do, do. Harvest spice, such a pretty color for a harvest spice. All right, now I'm going to take my spatula and kind of try to get the remainders back in, because I'm a messy maker here. Last time I tried to make a video, my phone died halfway through, so at least this time it made it. Get all the last little drippity drops off there, because every drop is important. Okay, I like to give it a little shimmy shake. Shimmy shake. It helps level the bar out. And let them set for at least 24 hours before they bring them out of their molds. And then I'll get them all fixed up in bags and ready to go on Etsy in 30 days after they're cured. Thanks for watching.